Pro-Built Systems, solving problems with power.
Alright, I'd like to welcome you guys back to Pro-Built Systems. What we're going to be talking about today is my Ridgid chop saw. This thing has a lot of hours on it. And I want you guys to realize this series of tool reviews is not I buy a tool brand new and then what are my first impressions of it. Most of the tools in my inventory have like hours, hundreds of hours. This particular chop saw built the entire building last December. So I have a lot of experience on this saw, and I can tell you the ups, downs, and everything in between about this particular tool. We're going to start off 12-inch blade. The guard is not particularly annoying, as with some of these saws. You don't want the safety features getting in your way and impeding your work. As you can see, when the arm goes down, it already goes. It doesn't push off the work like other ones. It actually has a mechanical arm here that you can see. The bed itself is aluminum. It has a decent amount of options as far as the range. This is a sliding miter saw, which, as you can see, the dust collection cabinet around it it made dust collection a little more difficult for something of this size without impeding on any of its functionality. Alright, now we're taking a look at the mechanism. I've done my best with dust collection for this thing, but as anyone who's had one of these sliding miter saws with a decent range on it will know, it's very hard to collect dust in that big of an area, and the little bag on the back doesn't fare very well. One of the first things to fail on this saw was the little rubber booty that goes right here that kind of catches additional kick-up dust off the track. It didn't fare very well. It was gone within the first week of building. The positives are the mechanism for using the miter has a nice streamlined feel to it. It is a pretty heavy mechanism though, this entire blade. So getting yourself back to zero, pretty easy. So we'll take a look at the dust collection system just as an aside for this thing so you guys can get an idea of what you're going to be in for as far as collecting dust on this thing. So overall, I built what essentially is this box. It's got these wings on the side that allow for the saw to swing all the way over there. So you can see that the tail end of the slide actually goes into those boxes. They have angled slides on them, so the dust is coerced to go down. And then in the bottom, there's actually a full-length slit that goes into the vacuum system of my shop. And the vacuum takes it outside to a separate building. So all my dust collection is gathered out there. This is just a brief view into where the dust collection actually takes it. Swing you out of the way here. So when the saw is on zero, that is the collection port down there. And you can see, for the most part, this thing works very well. I have not seen a system that's better than this without giving up range and versatility. I've seen similar systems where they have like a curtain that goes over this. The only thing I was thinking is maybe like a curtain like they have at like a meat packing plant. But you still are going to have it impede your versatility with the actual saw. So my dust collection system has worked great. The vacuum pressure is so high that it overcomes the outflow of dust. Okay, we're going to go ahead and make a cut, and I'm going to show you guys how the light functions as a blade guide. So you can see here when the light is off, right? You're just looking at the shadow of the blade. When the light is on, you can see an exact line of where the blade is going to be on the cut, on the workpiece, which is good. Even on a longer piece, you can see the entire blade. So if you strike a line, you'll be able to see where your line is going to end up. So you can match the shadow up with your cut line, and then you're going to know that you're going to have a precise cut. This is also how you know if your blade is lined up properly. So I'll go ahead and do a cut. We'll do a 2x4 cut. That was maple hardwood. That's a 1x1. So, and this blade is the original blade. I've sharpened it once. This is the original blade that started on the saw when I bought it in December. Give you guys a good look at the table and all of its configurations. So first off, you can see here that you have two types of locks. So you can lock this down, and then this is your like, so even just as it sits, the table is going to be in free range. Then you can lock this down, and that's going to be your fully locked mode. And then you can make minor adjustments with this lock. Okay, now the wings, based on your table support, I have outfeed support on both sides. So usually I leave the wings out unless you're making a small cut. So that's fully pushed in. So that's the smallest package, as you can see. Now these guys come off. Obviously there's a lot of sawdust here because my dust collection's off. It's very loud, so these are the cast aluminum wings that go with the saw. You can switch the side if you want a more supportive cut. Let's see here. Get this guy in. This guy goes in like that. So if you want to use these as a support on the back of the saw, you can do that, and it'll get you much closer to the blade. But if you do that, you're going to run the risk of stuff hitting it unless you have these secured. So they do secure in that, so you can have some support on larger things that's going to get past that. I have seen a few modifications that people do where they put a sheet along the back of this to give yourself a better zero clearance on the back, and then a wooden zero clearance insert here. Since these are just Phillips screwed on, that's a good modification to make if you find yourself cutting very small things continuously. Alright, so I'd like you guys to hit the like button, subscribe, and keep your eyes out. We're going to be doing more Ridgid tools in this series. We have a lot of them to get through, so if you have any questions or any more questions about this tool, go ahead and post them in the comments. Thanks.